we're going to talk about changing your podcast business model. And I like to discuss things that people are searching for online. And one of the things I found that people are super passionate about right now is the Tom Keene podcast, Bloomberg on the Economy. They've recently made it subscription only. They do have a freemium version. Essentially, it's a 30-minute podcast. And what they've done is chopped it down to a good 3 minutes, and about 1 minute of that 3 minutes is commercials for the subscription podcast. So what we have is a very popular podcast. It's one of the top podcasts on iTunes. People love it. I used to love to listen to it because you get a lot of economists and finance, and especially during the recession, you really needed to stay up to speed on the economy and get perspective from economists and such. Naturally, when you offer something for free and then start charging people for it, they are going to be very, very vocal. And this is the case online. You can see through Twitter and various websites. Just doing a Google search. I saw a post from artlung.com. And people commenting about how they're really angry about the charging for the podcast. On a recent post entitled "Publishers Monetizing Podcasts: Can Spoken Word Save an Industry?" I got some comments from people, and one of the ones we got was about the Tom Keene podcast, and someone pretty furious about them charging for the podcast. Now, the Bloomberg podcast didn't have a lot of advertising in it. That was one thing I felt was always missing in there. Later on, they did start to add, one or two advertisements, but given that it's a 30-minute show, 30 minutes plus, they really should have had a lot more advertisements in there. One of the things the Adam Carolla podcast does is they have a sponsor for the show, and they tell people to, put in this offer code when they go to the website. So kind of a more traditional type advertising. And there just wasn't enough of that on the Bloomberg podcast. And they also have, a few podcasts, not just one. They have a bunch of them. Now, mind you, the Bloomberg podcasts really are just recordings of the radio show. So one of the things somebody mentioned online was, well, hey, why don't you just, try and get the, just be in time for the radio show. And so that just shows you, if people don't want to pay for something, they're going to find a way to get it for free or at least cheaper. And, there's just a number of ways that you can make money, without actually charging for a podcast. And that's something, we're going to get into on savagepodcaster.com. One of the things is, just like the Adam Carolla podcast, you have special offer codes, and that seems to be one of the more popular ones with podcasts today. Another way is you could cross-promote content on your website that actually does have ads on it that people can click on, or you can, use affiliate programs, on your website. That's another way to do it. If you're a consultant, you could also mention your services as well. So it's just a number of ways that you can monetize your podcast without actually charging people for it, because people are so used to getting things for free online. And you look at Facebook, and Facebook now has 400 million people on there, and nothing radical there, just ads right now. But they're finding new ways to make money. One of the ways I think they're going to start to make money is if they do an online shopping account where you give them your credit card information, and it kind of becomes like a passport type deal where they make money on transactions, kind of like credit card companies do right now. And when you have 400 million people, even if not many of them are using it, just a small percentage of 400 million, that's a lot of money right there. So I think right now with the web is still evolving, and people are still finding ways to make money, and they're getting more creative with it. And right now I think you see there are actual monies being made online, and I think they're still working out the mix, but they're starting to get it, I think, right now. You see like a lot of maturing of the web technologies, the podcasting, the video online. Facebook, people are monetizing applications on Facebook, and now you've got the iPhone and the iPhone applications. So things are just exploding right now. So people are just really searching for ways to make money, and it's happening. It's just going to take time because it is still an immature industry right now, with this whole online industry right now. I want to thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more podcasts. Going to have some guests coming up. And also, too, check out the article on the freemium business model. It's coming out tomorrow, February 9th, 2010. And don't forget to subscribe to the RSS feed of the blog posts, and also subscribe to the podcast you're listening to now. I know some people can just download just the one MP3 file on the web, or just listen to a file, but really stay up to date on this stuff, and subscribe to it on iTunes. You can do that by going to savagepodcaster.com/podcasts with an S, and that'll take you right there to the link where you can just one click, just bring it right into iTunes. If you have comments, you can leave them on the post, or direct message us on Twitter. You can also send us audio comments as well, and we can incorporate them into the podcast here. So we'd love to hear your audio comments. Then I can hear how angry you are about the Bloomberg and Tom Keene on the Economy podcast going to a subscription model. We can hear the anger in your voice. That'd be great, wouldn't it? We can have a whole army of them, because there's a lot of people out there.